Go. So without further ado, welcome to the Base Trade TVT tournament. I want to give a thank you to Ivo Jochev for subscribing to the channel, new sub hype. And we're going to get to see a best of 3 before your eyes right now. All of your thing today is going to be double elimination, and the top 2 players will proceed. I'll explain how invites work afterwards, but for now, spawning in the bottom left corner of the map, it's the Red Terran player Forte, formerly known as Salvation. And I guess I'm using the wrong version of GameHeart because I got this weird help bug. Top right, it's going to be Samsung Galaxy's Blue Terran Reality, who, if you guys do recall, Reality and Beyond were the ones constantly duking out for top and, I guess, first and second place in the tournaments of recent. God, that's really loud. Is that not loud for anyone else? All right, I'm gonna leave the game sounds where they are right now. I know there's stream delay. Please let me know if the game sounds are fine or if they're too loud. They sound insanely loud to me for some reason, like deafeningly loud, but XSplit doesn't say it is, so I'm not sure. Before we get too far into the match, though, because we do have some Reaper action coming out, let me just follow this bad boy while I hopefully fix the overlay. I'm supposed to be using this one. That's right. Okay, so this question mark will be gone for the next games. But speaking of graphs, is it working? 1, 2, 3. Cool. So I wasn't sure if graphs were going to be working or not. Now, some of you might not know what graphs are. A quick little rundown of them. I won't be using all of them, but there's some really cool aspects to this. The first one being army size. The graphs track the last 10 minutes of the game, and I'm hoping this works, because in the past, the bug was it would stop working at 10 minutes into the game. But it's kind of cool because you'll be able to see representations of like where fights went down, who lost army, the income advantage, as you can see where, you know, blue player mules, red player mules, lots of cool stuff, lots of cool information. So hopefully gonna get to keep looking at these today. Reaper gonna hop up this cliff though to 4 Marines, not gonna have a good time. Grenade gets an okay hit, but kills the Reaper. No scouting for Reality. It's funny, I was bitching about music before, but now it seems like it's off and not even working. StarCraft, can you please continuous music? Do I have to click that? Okay, so the default settings on Korea are totally screwed up. Is there anything else I need to fix while I'm at this? Scrolling looks fine. Gameplay looks fine. Okay, I guess we'll boogie with it. I'm not sure what that dealio is, but nice little scan here in the bottom left. There's that information that Reality didn't get earlier that he was looking for, so got to see the starport, the factory. More importantly, saw the starport not on the tech lab. Not sure how much this is going to carry over. First medevac is going to get scouted. Reality going to turn around to defend this with some Hellions. You can certainly... I was going to say, you can certainly tango with the Marines if they're loading the main, but... Widow Mine does not quite get to burrow, just barely gets picked off. Takes away a lot of the power from this push. It's a couple Marines and a Hellion inside this thing, and it's not that much damage. 4 Hellions giving chase underneath should be able to corral this, no problem. Vikings coming out for Reality, but Siege Tank's still coming out here for Salvation. Now keep in mind, Salvation and Reality do both have expansions, but Salvation's is significantly later. That one base opener... Oh, pardon me, what am I saying here? The sort of, I guess, what looked like a one-base opener should have probably been a one-base opener. Would have been a lot stronger of an attack. Did not really pay out for him. That drop was supposed to come at such a quick time and really catch Reality off guard. Now with a couple of tanks coming out, he certainly lays siege to the front of the base, but not before Reality has 1 or 2 of his own tanks in play. And this kind of goes to where we were looking at with the Viking. The nice thing is going to give us some air control, but hold that thought. Nothing's at home. Everything's just picked up to go across the map, so SCVs are going to burn, and Reality gets a really nice Hellion drop-off. This is kind of what I think Salvation had wanted to do to him, but without the same results. 12 workers go down immediately. And looks like graphs did stop working at 10 minutes in, so we'll look into this and play with it today. Again, the whole point of bringing the mod back was so that we could get it troubleshooted. Now that they're all done with preparing for Legacy of the Void, some of our developer friends have got a little extra time on their hands and agreed to try to maybe help us out with this problem a little bit. But big drop goes off on the other side of the map, and while Reality's killed a lot of SCVs, he's going to have to pull some of his own just to hold on to the game. 2 siege tanks set up, though, in a pretty good spot. 3 Vikings in the sky should be able to win this. With the medevacs going down, they can land on the tanks afterwards. And while this looked a little bit scary for Reality, he certainly did quite a bit more damage to Salvation, who is still barely surviving off of this. Most of his SCVs are not even currently mining. Oh no. Total of, actually, it's kind of funny. The worker count lost is somewhat similar, but the workers currently active certainly are not, and that's because Reality had its expansion down so much sooner. So the logic here kind of was he had more SCVs to lose in the first place, not to mention this third base is now turning into an orbital as well. As far as the economy goes in this game, it's Reality's game, baby. Like, there's just no way Salvation's going to catch up in economy. The nice thing is, it's this weird situation where no one really has a lot of army, so there's a chance, a very small, insignificant chance that Reality might get caught off guard by some sort of attack. But, people are saying they like the sounds where they are. Okay, I will not touch a thing then. I'll leave the button where it is. Just, for whatever reason, it sounds so much louder than normal. I guess I don't have Zombie Grub to compare the audio sound to. So, I like this out of Reality. He knew that Salvation was going to waste some of his time jumping up and down. And again, sorry, I should be calling him Forte or Fort or however I pronounce it, because it is like an official name change from what I understand. I think Salvation personally sounds a lot cooler, but this is like when Burning became Armani. I didn't think Armani sounded a lot cooler either, but it grew on him pretty quick. I thought Burning was way cooler, just for the record, but double siege tanks coming across to pick off what little, well, not little, I guess there's a decent SCV count now, but they're going to go down here pretty quickly. Shots get fired. Meantime, other side of the map, a decent drop goes off. This is what I was talking about, where there's such a small army. It may have been a small chance that this worked. A couple SCVs get probably, well, not going to get pulled into this. This is actually really bad for Reality. He waits a long time to pull these SCVs into a fight. Meanwhile, outside the map, he has denied a lot of mining, pulled back some of the army. SCVs just long distancing from the third right now. But Reality is the one who loses most of the workers in this trade. Now, his third base being up is severely advantageous because while he might get denied mining at the natural, he can still drop 3 mules at a time. His income, as we can still see, much higher than that of Salvation's, but little by little, it looks like production's starting to win out here. And I think if he just drops directly on top of the tank, he can clean it up pretty easily. Don't love that he's walking into it, though. Cleans it up either way. 2 tanks on the other side of the map still causing a bit of headache. 1.5 seconds is the delay when you unload these tanks before they can fire. So a little bit awkward there as they do take a few seconds to get some shots off. Unsiege tanks have a lot of damage too, nothing to be trifled with, but that third base for Reality is what makes them look so damn good right now in this series. But it is just game 1 and a best of 3, and while again I give so much advantage to Reality, it's not quite on lockdown yet. Neither players really had tech going for them, but with +1 finish and Stim finishing up here in less than a few seconds, this is going to be severely good for him. I mean, for Salvation, you could argue Stim versus no Stim, or Hal +1 versus no +1, fine, but if it's the difference of the two, that's going to be a little bit too much to deal with. And again, the overlay here is a little bit broken, guys, and I do apologize for that because we're using the wrong one. It's an outdated version of GameHeart that got stuck on the Korean server list for some reason. If you watched the stream last night for the Archon All-Stars, the overlay is working fine over there, but I can't even mouse over half this stuff anymore, so I'm really hoping that gets fixed, having swapped over that overlay. For Forte? Ah, this is gonna kill me. Is it Forte? Is it Fort? I don't know. Either way, they don't sound nearly as cool as Salvation. I'm gonna actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run a straw poll after this game, and you guys can decide how this is pronounced. Now, every straw poll I ever run ends up being like a 50-50 split, and is ultimately pointless, but we'll give it a shot. Nice siege tank pickup, gets the shot off before ducking away. However, his bio gets shredded in Reality. We'll take game number 1.